That makes no sense. Sorry.
What the fuck, dude? Here, I'll do it live. Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Fuck it, do it live. We can't see you, but we'll do it live.
Wait, you can't see me?
No, we can see you. Don't worry.
Ready?
Yeah. Good call. Welcome to the Friendly Jordies / Jimmy's podcast. We're in week 2 of the lockdown, and Mislav has got a hold of his guitar, unfortunately.
No.
Yeah.
How you guys doing? Are you over the lockdown? Are you? What's the deal?
I'll tell you what, I'm over it. I'm sick of this dystopic reality where, and it is dystopic. I was walking down to Coles. I got a glint of myself in someone's mirror, and I looked exactly like the soldiers do in Nausicaa Valley of the Wind. You've got this mask over the top of you, this hood here. You're walking in, and there's just this kind of thing of like, you know, don't forget you get permission from the government to go to the supply depot. That's reality now. The closest that you can get to talking to you guys, it's like everyone is in their own little isolation chamber that's here. And you have these really dystopic conversations. Like when I was loading my dogs into the car, my girlfriend and I were, how dystopic is this sentence? They say the Russian vaccination is good.
Are you talking about how like? Are you talking about how we just did a shit Nausicaa? Are you just talking about how we just live in a shit Nausicaa Valley of the Wind now?
Yes. Yeah. We actually do live in a dystopia.
It's actually really fucking
And I gotta
weird.
say, it's not that bad.
It's not that bad, but I have to say, this is the first time, like every time I've heard accounts of like, lockdown is, lockdown, it's like, I don't feel creative. It's depressing. I'm stuck inside. It's really having an effect on my mental health. The whole time I've just been like, losers. It's great. It's so good. And only in like the last few days, I've just been like, I'm just going to leave my room because I'm sick of talking to that person that's in my room. You know, that other person. And I leave the room. I'm like, it was me. Yeah! You know, like I'm losing it or something. It's the first time. No.
People are living alone.
You know, a friend of mine is doing that, and dude, it's brutal. Like, how does that situation end without, you know, the like one day coming home and the like the marching of like, oh, and it goes, and it's like no beer and no thingy makes Homer something like, oh, homie. I don't get it.
I don't get it either, Mislav.
You can't.
But do you get what I'm saying? People living alone, it would be fucking hard if you're living alone. Is my point.
Dude,
it would be hard.
You can't see like your girlfriend or boyfriend though. From what I
gather. And I just said that Burger King was my significant other, so it's all fine.
Sucks to be
near a Burger King.
I actually do live near a Burger King. I live near the trifecta, which is very troublesome.
The Goldilocks circle.
The Goldilocks circle. What's my address here? I'll just tell you. 1, 2, 3.
You can pretty much figure it out by him saying what's the Goldilocks circle for you? Is it Macca's, 7-Eleven, Burger King?
No, it's actually not. It's Burger King.
Oh, that is the Goldilocks.
It is.
And I bet you the KFC is in the center, which if it is, it's just right. Surely, Ali, you don't live in a Goldilocks circle. You must live in like a Goldilocks universe.
I just have one thing. That's Red Rooster.
Of course.
Well, that is Goldilocks universe. That's combining all of them together, isn't it?
Dude, welcome to the West, baby.
Dude, talk about the fucking discrimination. Don't worry about Fairfield getting tests. What about the discrimination of like, if you live anywhere past Ashfield, your 2 choices of food are Red Rooster and some place called Psycho Chicken. I think that's the discrimination.
I don't think it's discrimination. I think it's discrimination against us.
Yeah.
Why isn't there any red roosters here? Is it because it's shit? Is that the
Dude,
reason?
Probably yes. That's one
I'll
of
be the judge of that.
Dude, do you remember? Sorry, not to keep distracting. We're gonna get into it. But do you remember, Jordan, when we went to the airport in Adelaide and we couldn't in Sydney going to Adelaide and we couldn't decide. We couldn't decide what we're having for breakfast because it was just like basically a married couple, and you're like, that's it. We'll both meet at this point in 10 minutes. And Jordan was saying how much each food represented our personalities. I got a artisanal blueberry bagel that's way too expensive than it should be, with cream cheese and an almond latte. And Jordan got Red Rooster chicken box for breakfast. Fucking breakfast, dude. Even I dropped
pineapple in it. Why am I coming to Red Rooster? For flavor? Of course not.
I need my 3 food groups. They say, Tony Robbins says fruit for breakfast is healthy.
That should be Red Rooster's slogan, shouldn't it be? Red Rooster, experience convict life.
Hey,
don't you reckon? Like, if you lived off Red Rooster for even 2 days, boom, scurvy.
Yeah, 100%.
No
100%.
way. Like, how is... I do understand why this place is going out of business. I think they still haven't discovered that there are other ways to flavor food than salt. That's,
but you know what?
At least the Colonel has 11 herbs and spices.
I will pay though. Salt is the premium of the choices of spices, condiments, or whatever. But I think you summed it up pretty well.
The original salt bag. Mm.
You went like hipster douche autist. So good. So good.
All right.
Yeah, that's the spot. But we can't talk. Look, easily, without a doubt, I understand. Look, Mislav's breakfast choice offends me as much as I'm sure everybody else is offended by the fact that I got Red Rooster. But I think that we could all agree that Ali's breakfast was the most offensive.
100%. 100%.
That was just off the Richter scale.
I personally disagree. It was a novelty breakfast. Which is,
okay.
Dude, you should issue a public apology for that.
You defamed the podcast.
Be the judge of that, because Carl's Jr. is a novelty breakfast.
Yeah, I'll pay that, but it was
it's a novelty.
You still ate it.
But dude, so's mooning the Queen. That is a novelty, but it's also really offensive.
And I would do that too. I don't mind that either. So I don't understand what your problem is.
I don't see that. You mooning him, and then a butt plug falls out.
That would never fall out. Hold it in tight.
Ali, master of control.
What do you think? I'm some rookie? I let my butt plug fall out. All right, boys. First segment for today is
shit.
Actually the what's been trending news. I wanna take Jordan's take on it, and also Mislav. The Kevin Rudd and Orsum extravaganza.
We can give you a lowdown on that, my friend, because we've been writing a script on it all day. By the way, how good is Red Rooster? There's a poll going.
Very.
And
no way
what's
give me KFC is leading. Second by the best in the West, and then the third is Red Who, which it has got 18%. So
hey,
we'll
I
see.
voted.
I'm
losing.
Wait,
who'd have guessed that the guy that hosts the big quiz, being your ambassador, isn't the best choice of celebrity to get your name out?
Wait, is that Red Rooster?
Yeah.
So what do you guys' take on this? What have you been thinking about all day? I think Mislav's gone.
I'll tell you, as a good summary of it, isn't it such a perfect encapsulation of the FriendlyJordies YouTube channel message, which is headline, Scott Morrison sucks, Kevin Rudd is mad. There's,
you have
yeah.
you don't have to convince anyone for that tagline. I think most people agree on that.
No, but yeah, it's a perfect encapsulation of why. But I think that the thing that's really scary about it is it shows how much of a leadership vacuum, how incompetent the people at the top are. It's not even a thing of they do a bunch of favors for their mates and they have some evil plan. It's like you can't even think of the basics, like calling the manager. That's above your pay grade. But
It's
you
bizarre.
have the highest signature in the land.
What are you talking about?
I'm
Sorry.
He's so unbelievably incompetent, dangerously incompetent. This is
Who?
decline of civilization stuff that someone like Scott Morrison can rise to the top. I don't even think, I will say this again, I don't think that Tony Abbott and Malcolm Turnbull would have done the same thing. This is really one of those, I'm going on holiday during the bushfires incidents, but it's just not as visceral because you can't get the great imagery of it. But it really is that level of dropping the ball.
It's the whole incompetence thing. Like I was surprised to know that bureaucrats that were negotiating with Pfizer were not even senior bureaucrats and junior bureaucrats. Considering that your entire vaccination strategy post AstraZeneca recommendation was based on Pfizer, the least you could do is actually just call up the guys and be like, hey, can you do us favors?
Yeah.
And just send it
So
quickly.
incompetent, hey.
It's ridiculous.
Well, it wasn't even that. It wasn't even, can you send it quicker? It was Kevin Rudd ringing up and saying, look, I know you're under a lot of pressure. Scott Morrison's probably already talked to you, I assume, but it'd be great if we could get more, but, you know, no pressure. And then the CEO goes, oh, yeah, I'm a busy guy, what with the distributing the vaccination towards 7 billion people. Sorry, this kind of slipped me that Australia exists. Let me just make 2 phone calls, and then boom. You've just moved us so far up the ranks.
But
That's
that
crazy.
was the
From that wasn't covered.
But you know what? So that's the first bit, which is the incompetence of it, which you can somewhat still forgive, like you forgive a dog for chewing up your remote. But the other aspect of it was the spin for media, which is like, no, I've renegotiated with them. We're going to ramp up the vaccines to, I don't know, 2 million a week or some shit, which was totally made up. It was a marketing tactic by Scotty for marketing, which shows you not only is he incompetent, but he's also a slimy person. Like he's not a good man.
No. But it was this cycle that I observed while we were writing this script, which was, do you remember when they were supposed to go on lockdown and they didn't because their donors didn't want them to go on lockdown so they could make more money? Then it got to a really bad situation. And then they, as soon as they had to actually govern instead of pretend to look like they were governing, they were like, fuck, can you do it? Threw it at Labor. Labor goes, yeah, okay, here you go. Here's the plan. Gives it to them. They say, yeah, okay, thanks. Then they spend the next year trashing Labor about how they've got no plan at all and how great and genius they are. Take full credit for JobKeeper when it was Greg Combay, who was a former Gillard minister, who made it. Then when it comes to the vaccine rollout, again, because they were doing favors for their donors, it's the worst in the OECD. And they're just like, fuck, what do we do? And again, a former Gillard minister, Kevin Rudd, rigs up and goes, okay, I'll handle it. Can you just bump us up a bit? Thank you. Just hangs up the phone. And they're just like, again, the same cycle. Scott Morrison's just like, yeah, okay, time for me to take over with my job. This is my role in all of this. Taking credit for it in a PR campaign.
Did you
Jesus.
roast though? Did you see how the government tried to like make it they tried to like shit on Kevin Rudd for interfering in their vaccine rollout, and Kevin Rudd's response was boss. He was like, there's no way I would want to be associated with this horrible rollout. Like this is not doing me any favors. Like, which is it's the ultimate response, because I'm not doing this to get publicity. You are going to ruin my life or my
Yes.
perception if I'm anywhere associated with it. It's ridiculous, man. I was in uni class today for a bunch of these kids that are now in China because of COVID or whatever. And they were telling me how lockdowns is a thing of history for them. Like, even if there are cases, most of the population has been vaccinated. They've just moved on. Like, we're
China?
still
In
living in
China?
2020. Yeah. In China and even in places like the US and UK. Like, we
Really?
are
But how many of them have Bill Gates's nanomachines in their blood?
half of them, but that's not the point.
Not a bad number. That's not a bad
Not a
rate.
bad- Dude, even you know what kind of pisses me off? Like, I speak to my Paki friends and they're all vaccinated
How?
because they bought
Because
it.
they're ballers.
But the point is, if you want to, you can get it, which is not the case over here. And Pakistan is a poor, developing country, and we are the
Really?
lucky country, except the
Imagine-
unluckiness of getting Scott Morrison.
Imagine though, if we just keep holding off defect in every single vaccine that makes like your brain explode or your eyeballs, then we'll be all right. Because then it'll be
Then
like,
Kevin Rudd would look stupid.
that's the only. I'm just saying, it's a possibility.
Throwing it out there, right?
Stop creating vaccine hysteria. We need it. I want to go back to the studio.
It's my only. Like, I agree with you, but it's just my only point. That's just sort of like, Sky News. It's like my only thing, but it's not rational at all.
But haven't they all shifted because Scott Morrison has?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Hasn't Sky News, Seven, Telegraph, I think they were all running a thing of
Well, Sky News and
how
Seven.
dangerous vaccines are and how we're getting shut out of the debate. And now it's just turned into anybody that has questions about this very questionable vaccine is a nut.
Did you guys see?
I love that that's the two sides of the argument.
Those
It's so
are
good.
the two sides. Did you see the the Kerry Chant version of Queensland? Their chief medical officer got promoted to Governor General of Queensland, but it's
Really?
basically they don't want to make it. They don't want to they don't want the perception to be that she got demoted because I believe that they've kicked her out of that job for saying that AstraZeneca is not good for people under 50 or whatever.
Right.
Why?
Because she came out and she was asked that question and she said that I would not recommend the vaccine to any 20-year-old that could die from blood clotting that wouldn't have died had they gotten COVID. And that
Oh.
was against the 1-day-old zeitgeist of Scott Morrison that that you gotta should be allowed for young people to because we want to improve our vaccination rates.
And she got fired.
Well, she didn't get fired. She technically got promoted to governor. In my opinion, that because governor general is just a ceremonial position,
Right.
and they had to get rid of her without get rid of her. So the only way they could get rid of her
How
is
good
by
is
giving
that?
her a promotion.
How good's
Wouldn't
that
it be
in part?
amazing if just for some reason Ali eventually became Governor General of South Australia?
I think it's an I think it's an inevitability.
Yeah. You know what else is amazing? He would be less famous as a result, especially in South Australia.
How weird is that, isn't it? You go on a podcast just being like, poop. That's how you fucking do it.
I don't think I'm becoming the governor. I think none of us are becoming the governor. The only person that could become governor general is Jordan, if they were trying
Well-
really hard.
Well,
to,
I'm
get him
already.
off.
I mean, I'm going to be a judge. That's already been.
Hey Jordan, can you
decided.
turn on your lights?
Yeah, turn
Oh,
the lights
sorry.
on.
Yes, I can.
You look like you're in a snuff film, dude.
Because the aquarium light died down. The fish are now dead, but that's besides the point.
Ali, I have something to talk about at some point.
Well, all right. So, do you wanna do that then? Do you wanna talk about?
I was talking to Jordan. I want to do Mislav's film review. You know what film?
Ah, no.
Too
Yes,
scared,
I
are
do
ya?
know what film it is. It's clearly Toy Story 3.
The
Wait,
most terrifying
actually,
film of the early 2000s.
It was pretty scary, I've got to say.
That pink
It
bear.
might actually be darker than the one that you're talking about.
Probably like a similar storyline on paper. You know what I mean? Probably. I'm not even joking.
You're not.
I
Well,
mean,
you don't know that you're not joking, but I'm here to inform you that you're not joking. Yes, but
no. We don't like
yeah, continue.
maybe
You wanted to talk about Jack and the Beanstalk.
yes. I sort of can't be bothered, but I'm more curious as to like what the audience think. Who's seen the house that
the
Jack
house.
built? Who's seen
Have
it?
you seen it, Ali?
No, he
No,
hasn't.
I
If he'd
haven't.
seen it,
No, it doesn't have any of the cast of Friends in it. So that's
That's a good point. That's another reason why not to watch it.
everyone, it seems to be some douchebag called Dre Day doesn't know what he's talking about.
Well, what did Dre Day say?
Artie
Did he
Wank.
say you can call me Dre and you can call me Jay?
Something like that. Okay, yeah, awesome movie. All I'll say is it's the most disturbing, vile, gratuitous, funny, original, and what's the word I'm looking for when something affects you like what's the word I'm looking for?
Emotive?
No, just I don't know, effective, I suppose, movie I've ever seen.
Leaves you with an impact.
Yes, most impactful movie I've ever seen.
Really?
So-
More
Really?
impactful than Deep Impact.
the
Mislav
fuck
hasn't
is
seen
Deep
it yet,
Impact?
but
No, I
then he just
haven't.
does watch it, and you see him kind of just slowly meld into his bed, being like, yeah.
Wait, why is it so impactful, Miss?
Well, I just told you, it's like I found it to be incredibly. You know Lars von Trier, you'll know what his style's like, but I found it to be incredibly
Is Lars
original.
von Trier the guy that looks like everyone from Newtown?
No, he looks like a butcher from Sweden or something.
All right. Not
But
sure who that is, but yeah.
but anyway, look, this is not worth. It was just. I just kind of want to recommend. I told Jordan about it already. It was impactful because it was highly original,
Mhm.
disturbingly violent, like not stylized violence, just in your face violence.
Like Japanese movies.
Yeah, I guess, I don't know, just not stylized at all. It was very philosophical, like had long-winded dialogue about philosophy, about like ancient Rome, the World War, like the Nazis, Germany. It was just bizarre, and it goes for like 3 hours.
Mislav disagrees with this, but I saw someone review it on YouTube, and he had an Irish accent, so I assume he knows what he's talking about.
Yes, the Irish. Yeah, the Irish are notorious for their film knowledge.
Why?
Yes.
I think they are.
Maybe that. No, I don't think they're not, but I don't think they are.
All right, Miss. Is that the end of that segment?
Well, what were you gonna say, Jordan?
He was saying that the upshot of the film is that it's kind of a little stick of the nose at all of Lars's friends and virtually everyone on Earth that thinks they're a quote-unquote artist that's always saying, this is very deep and meaningful. And it's like, is it? Or are you just justifying why you are a 40-year-old that's just made like some little year 4 art exhibition thing of like, it's coat hangers, but it's actually crap. And you're just sitting there being like, no, it's actually really deep and meaningful. And I think that the entire movie is
That-
just a parody of that. that type of thinking, because the serial killer is always saying, no, this is all arty, and it's like, nah, you just killed someone, dude. You're not this visionary.
Wait, dude, literally,
Fair point.
literally what happened there was you were like, okay, it was this. That's okay, George. This is very important. And he goes out and he goes to the bathroom and he comes out. And I went there by Friday. That's just what happened. You were like, the movie is about, and then you just went bleh, and froze. So I didn't get any of that.
Well, Ali, having never seen the movie, do you think that what I said is correct?
Well, I don't agree with you, but I do agree with the Irish. So yes, indirectly.
Thank you very much. Now we can safely conclude Mislav's segment. Well done,
Okay.
Ali.
Next segment. Jordan, have you seen Gary? Have you seen Gary Orsum's new sick video about you?
Oh, there's
No.
another one. Is there another one?
Can I play
And
it?
he is pumping them out thick and fast.
Can I play it here?
Yeah,
Yeah.
All right.
please. It makes no sense.
Jesus.
It makes no sense.
Sick.
God. I've really got to say, it is really sad that I really do. This is not a great indictment on me. It's just a damning indictment on Gary Orsum. That I, someone who readily admits that I've been in arrested development for the last 15 years of my life, I feel like I'm more mature than Gary Orsum is. I think that man, the fact that he wrote that shows that him getting, I'm guessing maybe like a 20% dislike ratio on one of the videos that he poured his heart and soul into, that was like 40 minutes. And it was about me. And even I was just like, nah, I can't be bothered to watch this.
Yeah.
I can't watch 40 minutes of that screen going, have I said that you're a dickhead yet? What about a gaybo? Have I said you're a gaybo?
No, what about duh?
Yes.
Duh.
But you know what?
Now that's the real Goldilocks bill.
This song isn't about you though. This song is him trying to make it as a musician. He's just using the waves, for it to get to as many people as possible.
Wait a sec. He's trying to make it as a musician doing covers of Green Day with alternate lyrics.
Yeah, he is.
That's a weird. It's original avenue, original path to take. I'll give him that.
Ideal case scenario is that someone watches it and then goes like, "Yeah, I think he's a good musician." That's what he wants.
He's got that. A few people do that.
Yeah, that's essentially he's that much of a loser.
But do you think he is?
Look, I can give you a full fucking critique breakdown of that. What do you want to know? We haven't got all night,
All right. In terms of what it is, which is a Green Day cover.
Yes, of American
with very
Idiot.
clever lyrics.
Yeah, very, very clever lyrics. Yes.
You replaced American with Australian just to localize it.
Yep.
What do you reckon?
What do you mean? In regards to
For
what?
a cover, how is that?
Technically?
Yeah.
Okay. Technically, not bad. Aesthetic.
Oh shit! This is going the wrong. Shut up! Shut up!
No, wait. Aesthetically.
10 out of 10.
No. Aesthetically, it's a fucking nosedive bomb site, dude. MIDI drums. You look creepy because you're really old. What is the camera on your headstock? Don't film your bass and guitar from the headstock camera while you're moving. You're not Joe Satriani. That was cool in the 80s. Also, the lighting? What's this, like, high school band comp lighting? What is this? Why? What is the lighting? What is the, like, and the graphics?
I think it's just because, like, due to the lockdown, I can't perform at my preferred venue, which is Penrith RSL.
Yeah,
so I
Macquarie
brought Penrith
Hotel.
RSL to my mum's garage.
Yes. So, like, technically, it's like, yeah, you can play
Also,
guitar.
I've been kicked out of Penrith RSL for getting into too many brawls.
For hitting on girls half my age. No, like
Shit.
I think that like
Has anyone ever told you that I look like the pedophile Dennis Ferguson?
no, look, I think you know,
Because a
aesthetically,
lot of people have told me.
like the guy can
I think they have, dude. I think a lot of people in the comments have said, dude, you look like a pedophile.
like the guy can shred. The guy, look, he's fucking pretty average at drums, but he can play guitar and bass fine. I've seen those early, dude. I went on a deep dive of Gary Orsum because like that's what I do. Like I watched an interview with Joel Turner yesterday for an hour. I'm a freak, but
You have to give us a. Why did you give us a rendition of a film when you watched that? That's a work of art, Mislav.
Dude, he's a work of art. Mislav is gold. So
Oh,
I guess
okay.
we'll have to continue this later. But Jordan, latest news: Kyle and Jackie take over 2GB and put Ben Fodem to the dust.
Isn't that
What do you-
incredible? It's always what I said, which was the world would be a much better place if Kyle and Jackie O decided who was the premier.
I think they can now.
Yeah,
But,
I think so too.
I'm back.
You know what? You're back. We were talking about how Kyle and Jackie O have taken over 2GB as the #1 radio show in the country.
It was bound to happen.
So this is media was saying they were crediting this change to. They were saying because Kyle and Jackie O do too many penis competitions, and that's ratings gold, which is true. Kyle has a different view. Kyle calls it's because we're woke sleeping.
What's that?
He's saying that the most boring thing is being woke, and our
Right.
strategy is we're just sleeping.
We're just.
We're
Sleeping
woke
on it.
sleeping. So they're sleeping on the debate of like being woke and identity politics and all of that stuff. SJW. He's basically saying that we don't talk about SJW stuff, which is why we're #1.
See, that's what I've noticed about all of these Sky News types. I just did a video damning one of them, but when you look at it, when they're talking about all of these, you can't say anything anymore. What can't you say? You know, anything. What? Political correctness is going mad. What does that mean exactly? While you just go on Kyle and Jackie O and they're just like, yeah, we got 2 midgets in to les out. Oh, look at them go. That is saying, you know what I mean? That is un-PC. That's where the debate really is, as opposed to all of these people being like, we need to have a conversation about the fact that we can't have a conversation. It's just insane that you can't have, why isn't it? I thought the whole point of discussing things was you're supposed to say discussing. They never actually say anything edgy. They don't have the nuts for it, the good spot. So it's just this circular argument that never ends and is a beautiful distraction from the fact that they are all defending a government that has basically taken away your rights to say anything, regardless of whether or not it's politically correct or not. That's what I think is really interesting. And I think that, yes, that they're absolutely right. It's like this whole thing of, it's actually something that Christo once observed about cold ones. They don't actually... It's not this thing of like, I'm here to put a stake in the sand. Let's have this discussion right here. They're just actually saying un-PC shit from sun up to sundown, and look at the ratings. He's exactly right. It's like people do like saying un-PC shit, and they might slightly like somebody more who's sitting there saying, you know, political correctness has gone too far. They will get higher ratings than the person that's being like, you went too far. But you're kind of nosediving in on yourself. And after, how long can it go for? 6 years? I mean, for Christ's sakes, this argument isn't fucking AC/DC albums. You can't just keep reinventing the wheel forever.
Great. Great.
That's
reference.
true. But like what I gather from it is their content is funny. Like there's no denying that. Like even the little clips that the ABC puts up on their show saying like, look how reprehensible Kyle and Jackie O's show is. It always makes you laugh.
Yes. Exactly. They're all just spoil sports. That entire media ecosystem are just filled with people, and they're always thinking, how can I get someone out on some bullshit little thing that I can feign
Man.
outrage on? That's what their entire mind is set to. But what they don't understand is nobody actually cares about your game. People just want to have fun. You don't want to have fun. You want to sit there and read Malcolm Gladwell book after Malcolm Gladwell book. But the rest of us want to see some British backpacker's cock.
Which is always slightly bent. If I may add, why is it always slightly bent?
I don't know.
Jesus.
That's a good question. Why are their cocks as crooked as their teeth?
Oh, God.
But
Well,
yeah, like I remember once watching Media Watch and them saying, unbelievable, can you look at this? It was what you were saying. The segment was after the Cambodian War, these two sisters were separated as one got access to Australia and the other one had to stay there. We've shipped them over, but here's the catch. They're in one of these 3 boxes, and if they guess incorrectly, she goes straight back to Cambodia.
Oh.
oh shit.
How can you not listen?
That's true. How can you not listen? Is that real? They actually did that?
Yes.
So I take
But
it as...
they kind of just played the emotional batter for a while, and then, because she guessed incorrectly, and were like, sorry, you have to go, and she was just sitting there crying for like 5 minutes, and then they were just like, yeah, only joking, there you go, there's your sister love. All right,
Yeah.
you want a voucher for Freedom Furniture?
Get yourself a nice couch set for your new house, love. Better get acquainted with Freedom. It's as big a
I
deal.
really like how every generation has some
Freedom.
incarnation of just one fat man with a golden microphone that everybody sarcastically worships and eggs on with their decadence. Like the more beetrooty Kyle Sanderland's face gets, the closer that man is to having a heart bypass, the more I love that man. Like,
Totally.
How much less likable would Kyle Sanderland's be if he wasn't fat?
I'll pay that.
Is that a thing? Does being fat do the same thing as like humor, that it sort of disarms you? You become less threatening.
Yeah,
What do you mean?
I think so.
You know, like how the reason why people appreciate humor, or women, like one of the top things that women like in their partners is a sense of humor. It apparently goes back to like, as soon as you communicate through humor, it's obvious that you're not going to do any harm, which is probably incorrect, but in caveman mentality, that's what.
Right.
So do you think being fat does that too?
Reload.
No, but it does do something about being in front of a microphone. It's like, if you're fat, it's sort of just like being from Jamaica. There's a much better chance of you being really good at that job, you know? Like, if you're from Jamaica, there's a good chance that you're going to be good at running. If you're fat and you put a microphone in front of someone, it's probably just like, all right, I've never done this before, but that was Jessica Malboy. Coming up next, it's Secret Sound. Like, there's a... I don't know why. I can't explain it to you. You're just kind of genetically predisposed that if you really like Captain Crunch cereal, you're going to be really good at talking and shocking people.
Okay,
That's
speaking of
it's
fat
so
people in front of a microphone and being meant for it, who saw the Alex Jones stuff?
Oh my God! How have we forgotten about this? What is wrong with us?
Yeah, what the fuck? How the fuck did we gloss over that little tiny detail? I'm talking about the house that Jack built. Fuck.
For those of you that don't know what we're talking about, I will try and play a clip.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
yeah,
got to do it, Ollie.
Please do it.
Hopefully it works through here, but screen share.
Jessica Malboy. And we've got Grinspoon in the studio. Sorry, so good. I'm compressing that.
All right,
still.
can you guys see that?
I can see it.
Yes.
Oh, The man, the myth. Everybody get ready. This is history in the making. Oh, Ali, it's not playing.
No sound.
There's no
It's not
sound,
playing?
Ali.
No sound.
There's no sound. One sec.
Top
Oh, it's
left
because you got your
corner.
headphones in. Take your headphones out.
No. Hold up.
No, it's left corner's little icon.
Oh,
Maybe
it's so
the-
necessary that this goes ahead.
I know. Wait, maybe like because I'm screen
Range
sharing.
fiber.
I think that's what's causing it. But
What's your big secret? Wait, is Ali frozen?
No, Ali's not frozen. Are you there, Ali?
Frank?
Yeah, see, it's impossible.
I don't know.
Ali frozen is like looking at the Mona Lisa. What is that about?
I don't think he's even frozen. I think this is just him waiting.
Yeah. You kind of hear his voice in the background being like, actually, there's a very good study on China. But he's not even there. Oh, here he is.
There he is, he's back.
did any
Yeah, I
of
don't
that
think that
work?
would happen on Microsoft's Zoom version. No,
Did
none of it worked.
None of it. Fucking hell. Well, so you couldn't hear it, or you couldn't see it even play.
It
We're back.
cut out at the most important point, like it did in Mislav's segment, which was obviously the most important point of the podcast.
Well, let's just say Alex Jones wanted. He wants to come on the pod.
Yeah, he wants to come
He
on.
wants to come on the pod.
I'm speechless about that. Like, I still don't know.
Are we
I'll
ready
tell
for
you
it?
what, I do get a lot of
I'm
requests
not.
of people saying, hey, can you interview me? Celebrities that I was just like, don't waste my time. I'm done with it.
Right.
Now, a lot of that could be the fact that those celebrities are Australian.
Guy
but-
Sebastian, that sort of elk,
Guy Sebastian.
I assume.
Yeah. You know, Guy Sebastian, the ghost of Captain Arthur Phillip, he wanted to come on. These people, I'm done with it. I told him very explicitly, I don't want to talk to anyone who's dead. He kept going, and I don't know what to do about this. I had to get a seance in, but then
And by seance, you mean one of the cleaners in that building. Eh? Zzz, just sucked him up. Eh?
yes, the female Ghostbusters that was good. That Nepalese chick coming
Yeah.
in and being like,
Alu,
clean out your bin. And just like,
Yeah.
can you suck him up? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Clean out the bin.
Yeah. So yeah, Anthony Kalia, all those that not Jones
The big ones.
is in.
No, I cannot begin to express how amazed I was by that one little clip. I think
So
my
was
entire
I.
career.
So was I.
Yeah. I've got to say, I have had a good run.
Yeah.
In terms
you
of
have.
Australian celebrities, there's been quite a few amazing things that have happened to me over my life, and I'm extremely grateful for those. However, I'm not amazed by them.
Fair.
Every single time I have the ego to think, I'm worthy of this. But when it came to Alex
Yeah.
Jones saying, and I, quote, I love the comedians make fun of me, and I will come on your podcast. You think Jake Tapper from CNN would ever be saying something like that? Of course he wouldn't. Look at that, you little hillbilly. It was, and the other thing I've also got to say as well, just while I'm tooting my own horn,
No,
I really
dude.
can't tell the difference. And I think that this is, just want to see in the comments, how many of you could tell that that was an Alex Jones impression?
It's incredible.
And what part was Alex Jones? The only thing that really plays it off is I'm a little less confident with what he would say because it's been a while. But
Yeah.
he speaks quicker. I think that was the only difference. But I don't know, boys. I've never been speechless about something. It blew me away.
Same.
It is insane. Being
even
fanboys.
even I was stoked that he heard a bit of hey, you the thing. Yeah, no. I was like, I could die happy. I don't
Ali,
even
what would
care.
you talk to him about? What would you want to ask that man? Because if he was on the podcast, I'd just be sitting there being like, you can't leave now. Can we
I
just...
know.
I want him to just be there.
I'd have to
I would
prepare.
want
Wherever
to
as
talk
a
to him
full
about.
pose.
I'd
Yeah.
want to talk to him about like all CIA conspiracy theories.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well.
list
like
them
to-
down.
I'd like to talk to him about like Trump and because he has a let's put it this way, not mainstream perception of the vaccinations. So I would love to hear his opinion on that.
Oh, dude, he hates him. He's talking about how.
What does he say about him?
Well, the video in which he's talking about the pod. Look, I'll eventually be able to play the clip, but it'll take some time because the video's too long and his website isn't compatible with a lot of shit.
Yeah.
But he's talking about like how.
Ali.
What?
Everyone's saying link. Give them the link.
I'll give them the link, but I'm just saying that I'll be able to play it on the pod as well. But it'll take like maybe 5 to 10 minutes.
And I got to ask, is the audience amazed by this? Because I honestly think that this is more... this could be our own personal moon landing. As in, nothing else will ever top that moment. Talking to that man. Even if it's by fucking Riverside FM, I'll do it.
Hey, dude, in terms of like in terms of celebrities, I feel like it goes like Alex Jones, Riverside FM, you know? If Riverside
they go
FM was...
hand in hand, they are compatible. And let's be honest, if you go on Alex Jones's website, it pretty much is Riverside FM. I don't know how you find videos there. It's just a bunch of articles. That's like, did Paul Joseph Watson write these? And also, I don't care. I don't want that.
Totally.
How do you talking on his own website?
Well, I can...
And still, even though it is his own website that is impossible to navigate, it basically is the deep web.
Yeah.
It still has, 600,000 views? The man is a view machine.
And Mislav, to your point, his video, the video that we're going to watch, is literally titled, Renowned Brain Surgeons Warn COVID-19 Vaccines Are Literally Eating People's Brains. So there you go. Now you know what his position is and where he stands. You can talk to him about that.
Just ask him that. You know what else I really want to ask him? How come you talk so good?
Ooh, special skill.
He does. He is the world's most entertaining man. In fact, give me a list. Who is more entertaining than him? Peter Overton? Yeah, okay, he is a close second.
Jordan. It's Tyler had an interesting point though. Fucking SMH are gonna have a field day if this happens.
Let him.
Let them. Who gives a shit? Who gives it?
This is a once in a lifetime opportunity. I'm not gonna let someone with Ali's glasses go.
Fuck him. We're not here to play by any rules. We're not here to play these obscure bullshit rules that some elitist class of people who make 3 figures every year dictate who we can and can't talk to. That's called fascism. Fuck off. I'm not interested.
It's such a moment.
Yeah.
I really feel like
it is crazy, dude. It's so crazy. I don't think I'll ever comprehend it.
I think I'll be on my deathbed, and while he's sitting there saying, "We have the documents right here. The the vaccine is eating your brain." I'll just process that just before I die, and I'll be like, "He's right," and then that's the end of my consciousness.
Totally. And I'll probably
except for maybe just his face looking really smug. Just that'll be like all eternity, just being like him being like, I told you.
Let's get some barbecue. There's some good barbecue joints in Austin. Definitely.
Now you're gonna listen to me rail off about my new patented barbecue sauce that I think.
Dude, I'm so pissed off that I lost. Remember we got some of his like supplements, and then we didn't
become more man. Become more manly.
I lost mine in like the 3rd week in. It tasted like iodine, so I wasn't that into it. But like, I'm really. I hope that we can get a bunch of products too. Like, because I reckon like, you want some Power Force? You want some fucking krill oil, fish oil? You want some omega-3? You want some water filters? I'll just be like, yes. Yes, I do, but I don't want to pay for them. And then he'll just be like, I'll send them to you. Where are you? Sydney, Australia. You know, like, he'll do it.
I don't think he's sending anything for free.
I reckon he would.
Look,
dude.
I would be
Maybe
very
not, maybe
happy
not.
for him to just come on this podcast and shill his krill oil for 2 hours. That would be... I was saying this before.
Why would you
I
put that in your
honestly
body?
think that he... advertising his products, his own little personal Danos Direct, is more entertaining than 99.9% of content on Netflix. You can spend $200 million on a movie. It is not better than that guy going, you see, fish oil is great, but it's not as good as krill oil.
We've already done it. We've plugged his Super Male Vitality. We even did like a full review of it.
We did. There was 2 kinds we did. We all were eating it.
So we've already done it. All right, we're close to getting it to be able to play.
That's cool. That's cool. It is.
Is the audience digging it? Ali,
Yeah,
is the
yeah.
audience digging
Dude,
it?
the audience...
They are. I'm rating it right now. They are. Except
What did they say?
one lame-o who's like, Dr. Dre is like, why would you put that in your body?
Put what in your body?
Oh, Super
Krill
Male
iodine.
Vitality.
No, like any of his shit.
Oh,
like,
Ali, you actually
why?
did the full dose, didn't you?
I tried it out. For
For
that exact reason.
You couldn't
Why-
handle being that much of a man.
Yeah, it's like...
Not manly enough.
Damn, Ali, too much of a soy boy to handle Alex Jones's products, let alone the man.
It did taste weird though. I remember it was like, just put some drops under your tongue. I'm like, this tastes like
Remember it tasted
Weird.
like barbecue sauce.
nah, but like smoky iodine barbecue. It was weird, but you know, I would have drank the whole bottle. I just lost it. I lost the fucking bottle. It's just because it's like this big, I just lost it. It's so annoying.
I really need to ask that. Okay, look, I'm sorry, but I know we're just covering old ground here, but half of our interview with him, if it goes ahead, will be about the CIA, but the other half will be, what the fuck is krill oil? I've never heard of it in my life.
They
Why
sell
is
it
it
in
better than fish oil?
They sell it in Australia. I went and bought this in the chemist the other day, and they had krill oil, and then I was just like, huh, that's the stuff, hey? And it was like price of like $80 for a jar of it, and I was like, and I'm just gonna get some Swiss zinc instead, but I'll don't tip my hat to thee.
Okay, so
Alright, so it does explain that. Krill oil is krill oil.
what is krill oil?
Yes, it's like prawns. Krill, actually.
Isn't it?
Krill?
Isn't krill what busking sharks eat?
Yeah. Krill. Sorry, my mistake. Krill is like either tiny prawns or like fucking bacterial-sized prawns. It's one of those two.
Yeah.
All right,
But I don't know why that one's better for you.
I've got good news and bad news. Bad
Yeah.
news is, well, the good news is the Alex Jones video is here, so I can play it now. Bad news is only audio.
Better than
Yeah,
nothing.
just play it. Better than nothing.
All right, okay, let's go.
Just sprung it on you. A little bit of comic relief, but I guess someone hearing this is like, wow, this sounds crazy, but it's really true. What's in high-end fish oil and high-end krill oil is just the next level. And again, this will give you the fish burps, which I don't like. But if you're not getting fish burps, folks, it's not the real deal. Okay? Anything out there that's telling you it's the real deal and doesn't give you fish burps, it's a byproduct that goes with it. And so I take it when I go to sleep at night. When I don't take it, I feel it. My dreams aren't as good. I mean, it's like a drug, literally, for me. Krill oil and fish oil when they're high end. So here's a comedian making a joke about it.
Do it. Look at the camera. Do the whole thing. Go.
You ever seen fish oil like this? No, you haven't. You've always seen it all brown, and this one's all yellowy. And the reason that you see it is because I want my audience to have goodwill. Because if you get that goodwill, I get your goodwill. Don't you understand the big secret? This little pill right here is solid gold, liquid consciousness. You don't believe me? Look it up. Look up fish oil and then buy it at AlexJones.com InfoWars.
Far out. Like, the world is a poorer place with that man being shut out.
But you have to do it like this. Do it. Just do this part again.
That's a
Just-
I like that. And I will come on your podcast if you'd like. By the
There
way,
it
folks,
is.
I've always wanted to do comedy. Joe Rogan tells me I really need to do it. And I guess if I get good enough, I'll get to go on tour with Joe and Dave Chappelle. So I've got to go ahead though and go out there and is that a joke, CNN? I know Brian Stelter's like, who's Alex Jones friends with? Who's he involved with? I'm supposed to tell you who you can talk to and who you can't. You think Brian Stelter will get jealous?
All right, that was it. He offered to be on the pod. That's
Great
enough
job.
grounds for me to
Jordan.
send him an email saying,
Jordan,
please.
I have to.
Oh, for the love of God, please do. But also, Alex, he really needs to understand this. You don't need to train at all in the art of comedy. That will make you way worse.
Yeah.
That man just needs to go up on stage before Dave Chappelle and Joe Rogan and just blitz them. Just talk. Talk. That's all you have to do. I think what he doesn't understand is that humor is very closely linked to passion, and he is the world's most passionate man.
Yeah.
I think that, like, if he actually learned joke structure, you kind of sit there and you think, this is a bit hacky,
Yeah.
I think it's just he's saying what he really believes in so forcefully that you can't not laugh. And it's not that you're laughing at him. It's just that he's moving you emotionally.
Ali, post link in the chat.
I did. I've already done that.
Oh, sorry.
He is already a comedian. He doesn't realize it.
Yeah, he already is the world's best comedian.
But he was right about the frogs. Let's not just let's not paint him as being...
No one's disregarding. When I'm saying that, I'm not saying it as a payout. I'm a comedian. I just wish that I was as good as him. And I know that sounds like I'm sounding like I'm smug, but it's just...
No.
I think it's just because he's just so larger than life. He's kind of just like a walking Japanese ad. You know how, like, sometimes they're not even trying to be funny. It's just this for 30 seconds, being like, hey, that. And so you're just like, you can't not laugh at it.
Yeah, dude. Yes. Absolutely.
Enough. I agree with that.
He's right.
That's
You're
it.
right.
He's just a walking anime. That's Alex Jones. He's more epic than life.
When you're right, you're right. I just... Where'd he go? Hey, everybody, there's the famous aquarium.
He's going to jerk off to Alex Jones's audio again.
That's the famous aquarium. That is an image. That image like sums up Jordan perfectly. Gamer chair aquarium.
Prison jumper to match
and prison
planet.
Of course. Dude, no, but I have to say, dude, credit to your impression. Because if it was
recognition it deserves.
Because if it was a shit impression, he wouldn't have fucking responded that way. He would have just been like, "That wasn't very funny." Anyway, I'm gonna get some barbecue. Like he wouldn't have responded or played the video at all. It's a good impression. It's really funny. Because as you said, he's a funny man. He's a funny man.
You know what I think really tipped that over the line is that other people do impressions of Alex Jones, but then they're always saying something condescending and snarky about him afterwards.
Yeah.
Whereas we were saying, I'm so sad that man is not available on YouTube because, look, all credit to you. It is amazing that he was able to set up that website, but who'd have guessed him doing something in his little fucking tin shed in Austin is not going to be as good as the product that Google makes. Nowhere near as user friendly. So the fact that he's getting 600,000 on that, what a hit! What an absolute hit that man is.
John Tibb, Jordan, don't you think the credibility of things like your Bloodwater doc could be affected by SMH propaganda after talking to Alex Jones?
No, because they do the same thing always. They just go like, like for instance, the current one that they're currently going down is, you call Gladys Berejiklian a penis snake, and then you just see article after article, and politicians go, penis snake, penis snake, penis snake.
Arena snake.
But I don't think that anyone actually listens and pays attention to these outlets. All they do is they go, who's this nutter? They go over to it, and then they see the content that you do, and they go, "Oh, okay, those guys are a bunch of opportunistic liars that are clearly serving a bigger agenda.
Right.
I'm not taking them seriously anymore." It's
So it's almost
completely
like
inverted.
it's almost
because the
it's
thing
almost
is,
like
like
shifting.
in the old world, he would be correct. If I didn't have my own YouTube channel, my own
Yes.
publishing content realm,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
that is correct. That you would have to just think long and hard, because there would be a bunch of articles and outlets looking for
Yeah.
ways to fuck you over, and they give you a sentence, and you have to think really hard about what that sentence is going to be to make yourself look good. But now I can just do things like release an hour documentary about why that specific journalist is a cunt. You know?
Dude, you know what? You're right. You're right. You can't believe these. You can't believe the mainstream media. There's a reason they're called fake news, people.
I thought that Ali just started playing Alex Jones's show again.
Dude,
So I can do it.
there is no way that SMH is going to be favorable in any scenario.
But I mean, but you know what? In Jordan's not in Jordan's defense, in defense of Jordan's point, not to give away any secrets about any scripts that me and Jordan have been writing, but a particular journalist that we spoke to for an interview that essentially did a hit piece, definitely did a hit piece on Jordan. I won't say the paper because it doesn't matter, but you know, and even on that in that phone conversation, Ali, he just asked out of the blue, "Do you like Tony Robbins, by the way?" Now, the way he's put that forward is like, Jordan's response was baller, and it was great. It was just like a psh back. But the way that question is sort of predisposed, and the assumption with the question is like irrelevant of how you answer, the narrative is already written. It's already in motion. So adding someone like Alex Jones, I feel like they'll always find something. There'll always be someone, you know, any chink in the armor. Did you do this? What about this? And then even if there were zero chinks, which is impossible, that's still, well, maybe then you'd be fine. But that's an impossibility, and probably wouldn't. They'd probably say something else. They'd ignore. I don't know what they'd do actually, but
they'll just talk about how this is problematic again. But then they always say that anyways. Like there's no way you can turn that around to being like, actually, FriendlyJordies is amazing.
That's
Dude,
what I'm saying.
Not gonna happen.
Maybe there is a way, but what I'm saying is, I don't know what the fuck it is, and to just self-censor is not the solution.
And plus, like, dude, okay, Alex Jones has said some crazy stuff, but he's also said some crazy true stuff.
Exactly.
Like, so you just have to like pick and choose. And
also, we all advocate the right, you know, God, not to sound like fucking Sky. We advocate the right for people to offend and to, you know, Jordan's a comedian, and he's not fucking, I don't know, he's not Tom Ballard. Like, you're allowed to. Well, he got. There you go. But like,
Tom Ballard has changed, by the way.
yeah, but you know. What sort of bizarre metric is that to be like, this person's doesn't align 100% to this vague code of mainstream media, the class, the elite class have stipulated, so we can't talk to them. What? Like, I don't.
Yeah, and also,
what is this?
Bastion
What
of
is this?
morality. Some organization that sits there and is funded by the banks essentially as hush money, so they don't report on how predatory the banks are. You're going to sit there and be like, oh my God, he had a conversation with someone who funds himself from selling health products.
It's a fair point. I mean, like, and I'm
But
not
also,
saying...
like, on top of that, like, I really just am, at this point, I don't, even if somebody could go into the future and say, talking to Alex Jones will ruin your life, which it absolutely wouldn't. But even if it did, I'd still be like, where's the mic?
Yeah.
Where is the mic?
Well, I think
I need to talk to that man.
I mean, I think this lawsuit is pretty conducive of your state of mind with all this. And it was the same thing that, look, the perfect summation is when you were being sued by Clive Palmer. anyone on earth would be terrified. And I remember Jordan saying, quote, no, it's on the video. It's like, I don't care if I go bankrupt. I was born broke. All I need is a pen and pad and the net. I was raised in the net. I don't give a shit. I eat lettuce. You know, like it's like it's really, dude. That's why I always say Jordan Shanks, the OG punk. I'm gonna start calling you JG Allen. You're the most. It's legitimately like it's legitimately. You know, it's funny that Gary Orsum would play a punk band song, Green Day, American Idiot. Yes, very punk. And then like to you, who on earth is willing to go bankrupt for a cause? I don't even know if I am. Well, look, I don't have that much to lose, so I probably wouldn't give a shit. But like,
Mislav, you
but it does
already
really
are.
show-
Just choose.
yeah, I already am
cause.
bankrupt. I already am bankrupt. So I'm
Just
willing to
choose
go
any
bankrupt.
cause.
Yeah, exactly. But like, I don't know. I'm rambling here, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
No, but look, I think that my bar is a little too low of going bankrupt. It's like to expose corruption in this state, I'm willing to go bankrupt. To talk to Alex Jones, I'm willing to go bankrupt.
Hey,
Like,
dude,
anything. As you always say, it's the Coachella gene.
yeah,
You
no,
just
yeah,
want to go bankrupt.
Cancel. I'm going bankrupt.
dude. Ali, did you hear about this? We didn't. Can we say this?
Yeah, go for it.
You don't care?
No.
Hey, I was talking. I won't say explicitly, but I was talking to Mom and like a while back. We were talking about blah blah blah, and we're talking about like Jordan's family and stuff, and like his family history, blah blah blah, parents, you know. And then Mom was like, where's the family from? And I was like, I think Coachella. Mom was like, oh, and I was like, I don't know, what do you mean? She's like, essentially, there's this apparently, there's an island in Croatia, an area called Korčula, where Jordan's family are from, and my mum said they're all mental because they're all inbred from generations. Like they're like angry people, really fired up, and like because like, and then I was like, what are you talking about? Are you serious? And she was like, yeah. And then my mum was just like, boom, remember this person? A family friend. I'm like, yeah, crazy person, like Coachella. Boom, remember this kid? Remember this kid that beat you up when you attend? Or like one time had been beaten up by like this kid who was a bit older than me. I was like, yeah, that guy was a psycho. He beat me up. She's like, it's from Coachella. Like all this shit, like railing. And I'm just like, oh my god, this is not anecdotal. There's so much, but you know. But you know, like Mum did say, she was like, that was a long time ago. That was generations ago. Obviously now it's this was like generations ago.
They are insane. Ali, I don't know if I've told you these two things. The first factor, there was a castle there that was my family's castle, and my mum gave it away. That is not for a penny. Not for a penny.
I just don't believe that. Like,
just insane. They really don't care about money. They're that nuts. And then the other one is
the Egg Council. The Egg Council.
Doesn't this just show the entire premise of the movie Hereditary? Mental disorders go down the line. He inherited the money from our heart.
Let's not go to mental disorders. We're just going to say a fiery people.
Okay. Passionate about everything as we are for making love to our sisters and brothers. Really,
that's the one. That's the one. That's the one.
We're really into it. Go on,
listen to this, Ali, and everyone.
He inherited my grandparents' wealth that they accumulated from coming here in the Great Depression with that little Hessian hat on and being like, cabbages for sale. They actually made a lot because they went out and bought land out where you are, Ali. Your house is probably on my fucking grandparents' land. And isn't this nuts? They made a lot of money. They gave it to him because he was the firstborn. He was a nutbag. They knew he was a nutbag. And he got it in his head. He started up a chicken farm. And he got it in his head that the egg board was corrupt. And he was just like, I don't give a shit. I am going to sue these motherfuckers. The next 20 years in court, proving that the Egg Council was corrupt.
Holy
His
shit.
entire family lived in abject poverty. They used to come over to my mum's house being like, hey, Mrs. G, have you got any white bread left? And they'd be like, thanks. And she'd be like, okay, thanks heaps, and run back with like no shoes on. They absolutely struck his family into poverty, proving that the Egg Council was corrupt. He did prove it at the end, but he squandered the entire family fortune doing it. And here's the thing as well, like the courts were kind of like, yeah, it was a little bit corrupt, I guess, but like the net benefit was that it gave this network for the farmers to exchange eggs and no Egg Council. And so they just got fucked in prices. And so the farm shut down, but he proved his damn point.
Jordan, this should be a warning.
I was just sitting there just being like, wow, what an insane man. And then I just see in the paper just being like, Jordan Shanks accuses.
It's so good. It's so good.
Just like, I don't give a shit. I will spend every cent I have.
Dude, you should do Courtula. It's the Courtula gene, man. It's Courtula. Like, it's amazing. It's so funny. I thought it was just Scotland. I thought it was just parts of Scotland where it was like, that island up there, they're a rowdy bunch, inbred. But it's that's fucking.
This is insane.
Dude, that should, Jordan, the Egg Council, your Egg Council uncle should be a word of warning. Don't fly too close to the sun on the iron. Stay, just, I mean, it's too late, I suppose. Christ, you're suing the premier of the state. I shouldn't be saying that now.
But it was like, look, in short, that's what I'm saying. I'm willing to go bankrupt to interview Alex Jones. Like, it's in my, I would do it.
Yeah.
And that's the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us tonight. We hope to see you next week.
That's it?
Possibly with Alex Jones. Yeah, we're out of time.
Hey, wait a sec. What's going on with the up lates? Are we still
Yeah, we'll record one after that.
Let's do that off air.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us. We will see you next week. And join us for the upload.
Thanks for watching. Coming next, hi-fi quality coming next week at you.
Baby, don't say